Oh boy. Here we are with Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Season 4, Episode 4, A Case of Chiaroscuro. Upon seeing the title, all I could think of was Mexican food. Chimichangas, churros, chimichurri sauce. Alas, this episode has nothing to do with any of that. It comes from the Italian term chiaro, meaning clear or bright, and scuro, meaning dark or obscure. It referred to a style of drawing during the Renaissance. In other words, it's the black and white episode. I had seen a flash of black and white footage during the intro this season, but stopped watching when I realized they were showing clips from the episodes throughout the season. I don't even want a hint of a spoiler. So, how do they explain why the episode is in black and white? The crew must fix a malfunctioning probe that has drifted into Klingon space, and the system in question has a star that emits infrared black body spectra that only affects how they see color, whatever that means. It's just their way of saying, hey, this week is a hard-boiled detective film noir episode. Anywho, they take a shuttle across the demarcation line to surreptitiously repair the probe because there is a Klingon D7 cruiser in orbit around the planet Matar. After a quick reboot, the probe is working again, and the team of Una, M'Benga, and Uhura attempt to return. But Una radios the Big E, stating that the D7 is blocking their path, and they must set down on the planet to hide.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, exactly, Chris. We're talking 3D space here. A D7 cruiser would only block a straight path back to the ship, but the shuttle can go in any direction to go around it. Now, they shouldn't go right by it, else they'd be discovered, but they could easily fly around to the other side of the planet and make a wide loop back to the Enterprise. I hate when sci-fi films do this. The blockade of a planet, it's always just a ring of ships around the planet. It doesn't make any sense. So this is just a lame excuse to get them involved in some mystery on the planet. They land on the planet, and do they hide and stay put until it's safe to make a run for the ship? No. They state that they can hide the shuttle, but not their life signs. So as to keep the shuttle safe, they decide the best course of action is to head on downtown. And good news! This is a 1940s era planet, so they fit right in with some fedoras and trench coats. Phew. They decide to lay low, but are stopped by a man named Roman, who recognizes Una as his boss, Navette. They walk into the Rick's Cafe,
of all the gin joints,
where Roman's goons have a woman in custody. M'Benga notices Roman's Nazi Klingon armband. Apparently, Una's doppelganger is working for the Klingons. There's a B plot here in which Spock and La'an find a data chip inside the probe has been tampered with. We'll get back to this. Back in Rick's Cafe, M'Benga is surprised to see Commander Kor is in charge of the Klingon forces. This is the same Kor from classic Trek, Sans Ridges, and Deep Space Nine, Avec Ridges. Uhura is arrested since she doesn't have any identification, and the bartender from Rick's Cafe approaches Una and M'Benga. It turns out that Una's doppelganger, Navette, is the leader of the resistance. Back on the bridge, La'an asks help from Cadet Asha, whom the writers seem to have forgotten about. My initial thought was that she was this season's sacrificial lamb, and since they skipped her the last 2 episodes, it only reinforces that notion. Asha points her in the direction of Scotty and Ortegas, who appear to be friendly now, if not downright chummy. Are they going for a romance here? Time will tell. Down on the planet, Una and M'Benga go to Navette's office, and Una stumbles upon a facial recognizer, which scans her face and unlocks a secret room. So they went with the tired trope of a doppelganger, but it's not just that Una looks like Navette enough to fool her comrades, but it is so exactly like her that it works on a facial scanner.
I mean, what are the odds Una looks so much like this woman that no one can tell the difference?
The odds are infinitesimally small. Like, pull me out of the episode small. They try to brush it away with this line from M'Benga.
In a universe as vast as ours, the real mystery is that we don't stumble onto our doppelgangers more often, and that we have found Unas. As a momentary stroke of luck.
Didn't he just make an argument for my case? The universe is infinite, but the galaxy is not. This whole episode is just so preposterous that I don't really care about it at this point, and I think the ladies agree with me.
This is bad. I know 600 different words for bad. This is worse than all of them.
I didn't really care about the espionage anymore. The only lingering plot was La'an's investigation of the Angelo probe data. She tells Chapel she did everything she could.
I even suggested it could have been tampered with mid-transport.
Then Chapel asks if she's checked the forensic transporter logs. It turns out that the medical starship Yang had crossed into Klingon space the month prior, and the Angelo's logs recorded it. And La'an was right. Chapel changed the data during transport. But, as you'll recall from last week's episode, apparently transporter beams don't last long. As Spock stated,
I will attempt to transport you out at the moment of detonation. A zeptosecond before explosion.
So Chapel must be really, really fast at changing that data. Like I said, I checked out. This was boring and preposterous, but I'm noticing a trend here. We started off the season with probably the best Strange New Worlds episode ever. Then it seems like they just picked a random genre for every week. We started off with horror/Event Horizon episode, then last week's attempt at comedy/The Hangover, and now film noir/Casablanca. Next week is the puppet episode. I don't know how they're going to explain that. But this isn't Trek. In the past, Trek has had 1, maybe 2 farcical episodes per season, and that was when the seasons were twice as long or more. So to have 1 farcical episode per season of Strange New Worlds is plenty, but now we've had 3 in a row. Can we just get back to Star Trek instead? Live long and prosper.